Hey guys, it's me Cosmic, and today we're going to talk about should furries really care? Now, what I mean by that is, should furries care about their reputation outside of the furry fandom? And I would argue that no, we should not waste our time and bother with that, and I will explain why. We live at an age and time where you can pretty much find any kind of information, true or false, just regardless of anything, just any information extremely easily, thanks to the internet, cell phones, and computers. Now, I do understand that misinformation is also just as prevalent as actual information, maybe even more so, and I am aware of this. But you need to understand that you can find information by digging around long enough, as well as checking who provided the information. But even without the internet, you can do this. Take the people that have no fucking clue of what an actual furcon entails and is, take them to a furcon once, they're going to start noticing that a lot of the things that they think are true just aren't. But they're not going to do that. Because at the end of the day, the one thing that you need to understand is that these are ignorant assholes, not by birth, but by choice. They have chosen this path for themselves. They are ignorant, miserable cunts, unworthy of your consideration and unworthy of your attention. As such, don't bother trying to satisfy them. I see this sometimes, especially with figures within the furry community who are somewhat large, especially on Twitter, of course, because that's where all of the idiots live. They're basically trying to do an appeasement strategy. As if we humans haven't already tried that before in different scenarios. Like, it doesn't work. You cannot reason with a tiger when your head is in its mouth, now can you? You fucking imbeciles. You give them a single ground, a single inch, and they will take an entire fucking mile. Because that's just how they are. They're ignorant, miserable cunts. The only thing they're good for is spreading that. They are completely unworthy of your attention and consideration. So don't. Stop giving so much attention and stop caring so much about these idiots. They don't care about you. Why should you? Now, do not make the mistake though. This does not mean let's stop self-policing as well. No, that is a very self-destructive and very stupid idea. When we as a community engage in self-policing, we don't do it because we care so much about what ignorant dickheads think. No, we do it because we care about each other and the fandom that we are a part of. We both have the same interest and we both enjoy the same thing and we would like to continue doing so. As such, we will work together as a community to kick out rat bastards like Sappho and make sure that they are never welcomed by the majority of the furry fandom. At least. We will make sure that they are not welcome. We will do anything that we can. And we will continue doing so and must continue doing so that we can preserve the greater side of the fandom that all of us fell in love with in the first place. I fell in love with this fandom because it feels like I belong here. I'm Asperger's. I'm in the autism spectrum. I'm not exactly what you would call normal. I felt extremely alienated for most of my life, except for when I started interacting with fellow furries, and all of a sudden it's like, I don't feel so alone anymore, you know? It doesn't feel like an alien, I guess I just never found my kind before. But now that I have, I'm actually pretty satisfied with this. That's what got us in love with the furry fandom in the first place. It's a place where we feel like we belong and don't feel alienated. To preserve that, we need to continue self-policing. Why do you think they always have a go-to, which is rat bastards like Sappho? Because realistically speaking, aside from Sappho and people like Sappho, sorry, I meant monsters like Sappho. I'm not gonna call those disgusting creatures people because I respect humanity enough to not refer to them like that. She's not even human in my eyes. She's just a monster that needs to be slain. Sorry, that got a bit out of control. Well, I never claimed I was a pacifist, now did I? Because realistically, aside from those very few cherry-picked options, what else is there to really complain about? Exactly. If you start complaining about it having too many queer people in there, well then, it becomes pretty obvious what you're actually angry about now, doesn't it?
Number 5. Hating on queer folk without saying I hate queer folk. This may sound a bit confusing at first, so let me explain. So, although the LGBTQ+ community is a separate community of its own, because a significant chunk of furries also happen to be queer folk, they overlap to a certain extent. And in our current time period, it is no longer acceptable to be straight up just discriminatory towards LGBT folk, which resulted in these assholes having to find a way to mask it, and the furries and furry hate can be used as a way of masking their hatred. They can basically mask their hatred of queer folk as hating furries instead. This allows them to get away with it.
It shows just how ignorant of an asshole you are. So obviously, you can't go for that option, you gotta go for the other ones. And make sure to emphasize on them so much and add so much specific language to make yourself sound smarter than you actually are, even though in reality you're a cockeyed imbecile. You're a cockeyed imbecile. That it's somewhat understandable. You get what I mean? Realistically, other than that, they have fucking nothing. Because they're miserable dickheads. They don't have the capacity to actually do some proper fucking research. A great example of this is actually something that I saw from Beta Ida the Lotus channel. I would highly recommend that you go ahead and check his channel out. He's a pretty fun guy as far as I can tell. He's pretty fun. And also the weirdos part. Okay, one, weird completely is just, you can say anything is weird if you feel like it. Because anything can feel weird, depending on the situation or context. So that one doesn't exactly hold up. And also, when they say weird so much, I'm starting to wonder, are you referring to autism as weird? Because a lot of the furry cringe compilations, most of them is literally making fun of autistic people for being autistic. Something that you literally have no control over. You're fucking born with it or you're not. In which case, I have only one thing to say. If you're making fun of furries because a lot of us are autistic,
kill yourself now. You should kill yourself now. And your life for nothing. And you should zero purpose.
Like this guy's video over here, this guy actually went that extra mile in order to get a better understanding of the community. And I highly respect that. As far as I'm aware, he's not a furry. But he still did this because, well, he's curious and he wants to learn. Honestly, I highly fucking respect that. Props to that man. Seriously, respect. I love that. See, he is a great example. This is the perfect kind of example of a normie that isn't coming in just because he's a miserable dickhead. He's coming in because he's genuinely curious. He wants to know. And for normies like this, we should be much more welcoming and open. I do think that's something that we should do, so that they have a chance to learn and understand about how we actually are. So that is something that I highly respect. Props to that man for that. Now compare this to this one right here.
This is the first furry I've ever seen. Nice to meet you.
You can call me Carlo, sorry.
Okay, I'm just kind
Their
of
suit's so cute.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Tamioka.
Tamioka. Wow, what a name. I like that name.
That was it. You sure you're not tweeting something else? You sure you meant to include a different video here? What's the problem? I don't understand.
She is literally being as nice as she can be. She's not doing anything. But of course, the miserable dickhead has to make it sound as bad as possible. Because otherwise, he can't reinforce his already false beliefs now, can he? The thing about ignorance is, the day that you understand and accept the fact that you might be wrong, and there are some things that you just don't know about yet, that is the day ignorance dies. Because once you truly feel that and truly do that at your heart, you stop being ignorant because you want to learn more. The hunger and the thirst for knowledge, it immediately comes back to you. If you don't do that, that is when, unfortunately, it's pretty clear ignorance has taken control over you. And at that point, there is no saving you. At least in my opinion, there is no saving you. Fuck you.
Man, shut your bitch ass up.